Welcome to A Few Thoughts About, the show where we dig into thinking and how it shapes our experience of life. Each week, I share insights and observations to get you thinking. No long lectures, just quick, thought-provoking episodes to shift perspectives so that you can make the change you want to make. Let's get into it. Before we get started, I would like to tell you about something. If you like what you're hearing in these podcasts, if you like these ideas and you want help applying them to your own journey, whatever that happens to be, I mean, it could be alcohol, could be anything, whatever it is you're looking to change or do differently or shift, I have a couple of one-on-one coaching slots open right now. This podcast is releasing on January 30th. So as of today, when I'm recording it, January 29th, I'm a just-in-time guy, apparently, right now. But as of when I'm recording this intro, I have 2 slots open. And so I would absolutely love to talk to you about it. There is a link in the show notes, which will take you to a place where you can book some time with me. This is a low pressure thing where we will talk about you and what you're looking for and what your journey has been like. I'll talk about how I work. If it's a fit, I'll offer you a spot. If not, I'll try to give you some other resources. My goal is that no matter what, you get off this call with a next step. So if you like these ideas, if you've been toying around with one-on-one coaching, if you were thinking, you know what, maybe now's the time for me to take the plunge, I'd love to be able to talk to you about it. So again, check out the link in the show notes. It will take you to a site where you can book some time with me, totally for free, by the way. Like, this is just a chat. I'd love to chat with you. All right, that is it. Let's start the show. Well, hello there, and welcome to A Few Thoughts About Taking a Breath. You know, there are certain times when things feel very intense, when the world seems to be just like filling our head with all types of thoughts and emotions and intensity. And in those times, it is so easy to forget that we have an absolutely built-in way to find relief. And that is taking a breath. Right? Like, we get so wrapped up in our thoughts about whatever it is, right? Whether it's the news or family stuff or work stuff or trying to quit drinking or any other change you're trying to make, right? We get so down, we get so into our thinking that we forget that peace is literally just a couple of breaths away. So I wanted to make an episode about this because, I mean, I don't know about you, but like, I forget about this. I regularly forget about the fact that I can stop and breathe. Now, luckily I remember, and luckily I do it, but I kind of wanted to talk about this because there's something actually quite remarkable about this. You know, so much of my work is predicated on helping people find a way to change how they feel, right? That's why they come to me. And, you know, this is true for alcohol clients. It's true for relationship clients. It's true for any sort of change they want to make, or even just someone that's like, hey, I feel like there's something more for me and I don't know how to get there. We want to change the way we feel, right? That's what we use alcohol for sure. But it's what we use all types of other distractions for. And one thing that's really interesting to me is that so many people are after a bit of peace. Like, they just want to find some sort of peace, some sort of rest. And in a world that's as busy as ours, that's so full of news and social media and, you know, phones constantly ringing and busy schedules and all of this stuff, it can absolutely feel like that peace is so far away, but it's really not. Like, it really isn't, and it never has been. As cheesy as this sounds, even just a taste, even just a little bit of peace is just one breath away, right? It's just giving yourself time to breathe and let go. And it's funny because I work with a lot of clients on this exact idea. And a lot of times, some of the response that I get from this is like, well, you know, I really, let's say it's work stress. Like, I really want to let go of this work stress, but I feel like I can't. Right. And I know I've felt that way before too. And a lot of times that feeling like we can't, that's just because we've been focused on it for so long. And that if we try to focus on something else, if we try to focus on our breathing, if we try to give ourselves a break, yeah, we'll get snapped back to it, right? Like I know for me, especially, with certain types of stress, that it can feel all consuming. And it can feel like, well, if I'm trying not to think about it, then I think about it more, right? It's like, don't think of the pink elephant. But the reality is that if I focus on how I feel when I do something like take a breath, it is a little bit easier to let go. And the more we do it, the better we get at it, right? So no matter where you're at, no matter what it is that's stressing you out, no matter what it is that's creating sort of a feeling of stress or anxiety or anything else, taking just a few minutes to close your eyes, put your feet on the floor, and breathe can make a massive difference. And I'll go one further. I'll give you another exercise that I like to talk about with coaching clients. And one of the ways that I like to sort of describe the fact that like there is always peace available. It's in you right now. It doesn't look like it maybe. You might be hearing this and saying, fuck off, and I get that. I've been there. But I know that that's the case, even in the toughest days, even in the most intense situations. It is always there, but it's below the surface. So one of the ways that I like to talk about, thought is kind of like the surface of the ocean, in that, you can go in a storm and the surface of the ocean can be rough, right? And ships can be, being tossed around, and it can be all intense. But if you sink down far enough, there's calm down there, right? There's calm below the surface. And so one of the things that I'll give to clients to do, and I'd love to give this to you today, is to like imagine that your thoughts are that surface of the ocean, and give yourself a minute to just breathe, right? Sit with your feet on your floor, maybe close your eyes, whatever feels right to you. And then imagine yourself sort of sinking lower into the ocean. You start to feel that calm, and you can look up and you can see the storm. You can see those thoughts raging, but as you get farther away from them, you feel more and more calm. This is an incredibly powerful visualization because it lets us sort of tap into that intuitive knowledge that we have, that even though the surface of the ocean might be roiling, at some point down there is peace, and you are no different, right? Your consciousness is no different. Like that exists somewhere inside of you, even if it feels like it doesn't. And as a matter of fact, the times when it feels like it doesn't are some of the most important times to take a minute and do this. So taking a breath, taking a few breaths is something that is always available to us. And, again, I wanted to do this podcast specifically because it's so easy for us to get caught up in all of this. Like it's so easy for us to get caught up in our thinking, caught up in what's going on. Sometimes we just need this simple reminder, right? That peace is there. So take a breath, give yourself a minute. And if it's particularly intense, do that visualization I threw out there. Try it out. And I would love actually to hear from you once you do try it out, right? Go ahead and, write me an email, scott@scottpender.com, or use the website. I want to hear about it. One thing that I have found out of a lot of the work that I've done over the years is that taking time to do this, taking time to breathe, taking time to realize that like I can let myself sink down to where there's peace, it has broadened my ability to experience all different types of things without feeling completely overwhelmed, right? It's sort of broadened my understanding that peace is actually there, like that's actually possible for me. And I'd love you to have that too. So take a few minutes today to take a breath, right? Give yourself that space, whether it is doing the ocean exercise or just closing your eyes and breathing for a moment. You will find that peace is so much closer than you might think. Well, there you go. I actually did an episode about breathing. I knew the day would come. Anyway, I would love to hear what you think of that. Head on over to scottpender.com/podcast. There's a place there where you can send me an email. You can suggest topics. I love to hear from you. So anything you have to say, I absolutely want to hear it. That's it for me this week. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, and I'll be back again next week.